I'm Millie Sauber.
And I'm Jeff Stonick. Welcome to the Butler Beat.
Admission applications to attend classes at Butler are coming in at a record pace. According to information from the admissions office, more than 10,000 students have applied for the fall 2014 semester.
Campus tours for prospective students and their families are common sights. The Butler Beat's Joe Buzzell went on one of those tours.
Campus tours begin at Robertson Hall, where high school students and parents are given an itinerary for the day.
Now, campus tours are oftentimes an overlooked aspect of what lures new students to Butler's campus. Beginning here at Robertson Hall, I will be experiencing what a tour at Butler is like.
Student-led tours are available to be scheduled from Monday through Friday anytime throughout the year. The tours generally last about an hour and a half. Tour guides, referred to as student ambassadors, lead a group of 10 to 20 parents and prospective students around all parts of campus. They are shown academic buildings, athletic facilities, and are even allowed inside of Schweitzer Residence Hall. The tour guides are instructed to give detailed descriptions of each academic building, explaining their various purposes. Student Ambassador Brack Rowland believes the purpose of a campus tour is to relate to the families and potential students in his group.
My main goal is to genuinely connect with the families, even if it's one member of the family that's visiting. I just feel like the purpose of a tour is to try to relate to the people that are visiting.
Campus tours are an opportunity to set Butler apart from schools competing over the same students. Butler freshman Brian Harlan remembers the first time he stepped on Butler's campus as a high school sophomore.
Well, when I visited Butler, it was actually my sophomore year. I just stopped by when I was going up to Miami, Ohio to visit my sister, and I just fell in love with the campus. Everybody I met, they all said hi, they were all very friendly, and I kind of just knew when I went on campus that I was going to be a Butler Bulldog.
While tours are meant to be informative, that doesn't mean there aren't lighthearted moments. Walking backwards, for example, can serve as a tour guide's Achilles heel.
In the first 30 feet of walking backwards, there was like a huge potted plant that they had just put out, and I was in the middle of whatever thought I was in, fell backwards into the potted plant, had khakis on too, they were tan, so I got up and there's dirt all over my backside.
The last main stop of the tour is at Hinkle Fieldhouse, where prospective students are given a taste of Indiana basketball pride and tradition. For the Butler Beat, I'm Joe Buzzell.
Once students get to campus, staying connected is a priority. Butler keeps students, faculty, and staff connected through a variety of ways. The Connection is an online news source full of events and information. The Connection is available either online or through a smartphone app. Butler University has also created a university app. This contains schedules, safety information, maps, and alerts. Also, the new dog ride transportation system has an app that makes it easier to get a ride.
A family-friendly atmosphere is a familiar phrase used to describe life at Butler. One of the reasons for that feeling may be because families are actually living on the campus. Mallory Duncan has a story about how a faculty member in residence is raising her children in one of the dorms.
There are 4 faculty and residence members in Butler University's Residential College, or ResCo. Dr. Catherine Pangan lives in the B Wing, but she does not live alone. For her, this job is a family affair. The Pangans are raising their 2 kids, Hudson and Violet, on Butler's campus. Pangan says raising her kids on a college campus is a great opportunity for them.
Every day is just such a gift to be on a college campus, and for the kids to be surrounded by such amazing role models at different stages of their lives is pretty incredible. And to have the library next door and the largest telescope in the state at your playground is phenomenal. So we really treasure every day.
The Pangans have been in the FUR program for 5 years. During that time, they have interacted with many students and RAs. David Promisel, an RA in ResCo, says he loves living with the family in the same building.
Whenever there's an event, they're always welcoming. I've been over there for a couple of chilly nights, and obviously, their kids are super cute, so I've seen Hudson and Violet a lot, and then also working the desk, Mr. and Mrs. Pangan will both stop by and say hi, pick up packages, so I've gotten to know them pretty well.
And the Pangans, especially Hudson, love living with the students.
My favorite part is that I can hang out with the college kids, and most of them really like Legos.
The students who live in the Pangans wing also have great things to say about them. Not only do the Pangans make them feel like they are a part of their family, they also keep the college students in check.
I would hope that they're more aware of the fact there's little kids around, they have to be careful of what they say and what they do.
Yeah.
Despite some challenges, the Pangins love their position. Pangan says she and her husband think that when Hudson hits puberty might be the time to move on, but for now, they are happy with their extended Butler family. For the Butler Beat, I'm Mallory Duncan.
The Indianapolis 500-mile race is fast approaching, and this year, some Butler royalty will be part of the festivities. When you think of the Indy 500, cars are usually the first thing to pop up in your mind. But what about crowns? This year, Butler has 4 Indy 500 Festival princesses.
So much more about this amazing community that we live in, so many different little programs here and there that have to do with the race, and not even to do with the festival or the race, just things around here. We got to do a lot of awesome volunteer opportunities that I never would have ever known about without the program. And
Steph Wolford is a junior and one of this year's princesses.
As a 500 Festival princess, we are required to do 4 different outreaches, and they can be all over the state. I'm choosing to do mine in my hometown and in the Indianapolis area. So a few of the things I'm going to do are visit some elementary schools and read to kids. I'm going to work with the Girl Scout troop and make sashes and kind of talk about making the world a better place and doing that through service and that kind of thing. And then I'm also going to be here on campus with my sororities philanthropy event and just kind of promoting the different events that the 500 Festival has.
Steph's outreach will be tonight at Country Fever at Alpha Phi. But what about outreaches that are farther away? Just like the Indy cars, sometimes the princesses need to speed off. So what do? They pack up their cars with a go bag. That way, at any time, they can be ready for an outreach event. The princesses' go boxes are filled with essentials, like their 500 swag, their crown and their sash, and toiletries of every kind. The 4 princesses will represent Butler and the Indy 500 Festival at the race May 25th. For the Butler Beat, I'm Millie Sauber.
Butler will make the transition to summertime living on campus. Todd Budnick reports many students live at Butler over the summer because of internships.
Although it may not seem like it now, summer is quickly approaching. This means that many students at Butler are planning for their summer internships. Junior Christina Fox explains how she prepared for summer at Butler.
I was here this summer because I had an internship. So I obviously knew I couldn't stay on campus, so I talked to some of the girls that live here and was able to sublease from them. And my internship was up on 96th Street, so that made it an easy commute.
Because residence halls, like Resco, are mostly closed to students over the summer, housing is a major concern for these students.
Many of the students who choose to live on Butler's campus over the summer choose to live on Berkeley Street, also known as the Knoll.
The Knoll is a popular area for students that live off campus but want to remain close. For many of the students, living in a house can be a learning experience in itself. Senior Kate Goldsmith explains how she learned from living in her house over the summer.
Since we have internships, it's a lot less school focused and more work focused, which is kind of a nice break. And obviously we sort of have to fend for ourselves a little bit more. Actually, my house burnt down, as you can see. This is the house on fire in December before we were supposed to move in, and so construction was going on.
Goldsmith's house was eventually finished in July of 2013. For the Butler Beat, I'm Tom Budnick.
The Butler Collegian has been reporting the news of the campus for 128 years. Mariah Jacon Duffy gives us a behind-the-scenes look at what goes into the weekly production of one of Butler's oldest institutions.
Everything looks quiet outside the Fairbanks building at 1 a.m. on a Tuesday night. But inside room 210, the Collegian editorial staff is putting the finishing touches on the newspaper set to hit the newsstands the next morning.
Everybody's working on it every day of the week. All the time. On production nights, very long days, till 1 o'clock in the morning, or if you miss deadline, later. A lot of work. More than I think students realize.
The planning of a new edition of the paper begins only a few hours after the latest issue has been sent to the printer. Freshman journalism major Natalie Smith is currently assistant news editor for the Collegian, and she is responsible for both writing and editing each week.
Well, you would think it would only take like half a week, but we have our staff meeting on Wednesday, and then we're writing from Thursday to Sunday. And then Monday and Tuesday, the editors are in there from like 5 to any time at night, 11 or maybe 1 a.m. putting together the issue, and then we send on Tuesday. So it's a full week process.
And no matter how skilled the reporter, no story is free from errors. The story usually hits the copy desk looking one way, and then leaves the desk covered in edits made in red ink. But the staff must be doing something right. The walls of the Collegian office are filled with state and national awards, including the Pacemaker Award from the Collegiate Press Association.
And the last job for Collegian staff is circulation.
The staff delivers papers at around 11 a.m. on Wednesday morning, and students can pick up their own copies at any campus residence hall, academic building, Starbucks, or the HRC. For the Butler Beat, I'm Marie J. Conduffy.
Many Butler students get involved in clubs and organizations. Bryn Erdy has a story about one student who has a very personal reason for starting an organization which touches the lives of many children.
Liz Nemec manages Little Wish Foundation, which is a nonprofit organization that grants wishes to children suffering from cancer. Nemec lost a close family friend, Max Olson, in 2010 when he was only 7 years old. Little Wish Foundation commemorates him.
Every time I grant a wish, I kind of see Max and like every single kid, and just that happiness comes back, and it's just, you can't stop doing it once you start.
With more than $250,000 raised through fundraising and donations, Liz has worked to deliver over 260 wishes. Nemec works with 4 hospitals in Indiana. She collaborates with social workers to grant wishes.
Social workers, come up to us right when we leave a room, and they're like, wow, they haven't smiled, they haven't talked, they haven't laughed this whole, time at the hospital, and you came in here and you made them smile, you made them laugh and just enjoy their time, and that's incredible, and we've never seen that before, and that just, it makes you feel good. You're making a difference, and it's a great feeling.
Children get to pick their own little wish, ranging between $300 to $800. Children have asked for things like toys, electronics, and concert tickets. Karen Kuzma volunteered to help grant a couple wishes.
I didn't know what to expect going into it, but it really, right when I walked in the room, I felt like so much love because right when they saw Liz, their eyes lit up.
Nemec says this is something she wants to do after she graduates. She hopes to start a club here at Butler University.
I love it. It's great. It's the best thing ever. Everyone should do it. I wish they could.
To make a donation or purchase some wishware, head to www.littlewishfoundation.org. Little Wish Foundation also has a Facebook page. For the Butler Beat, I'm Bryn Erdy.
The American Sign Language Club is another club at Butler that interacts with kids. Hannah Somerville reports on ASL's annual event, Hands on Fire.
Members from all over the surrounding communities look forward to Hands on Fire, and this year wasn't any different. With a packed house, students from the Indiana School for the Deaf performed and signed songs, dances, and skits. Even though this is ASL President Maggie Brennan's favorite event, there is so much work that goes into it.
Sure. Well, we start our meetings at the very beginning of the school year, and it takes the whole year to plan and get all the acts from Indiana School for the Deaf prepared. So it takes the entire school year.
Students of all ages spend the fall and winter months preparing performances that display the students' personalities. For club member Lisa Robb, she loves every second of the show, but especially the elementary kids.
My favorite part about Hands on Fire is probably watching the elementary school students from the deaf school, watching them do little skits, because I don't know, kids are always fun, and it's really neat to see how deaf students still act and perform and just do everything that hearing students would do.
My favorite part is definitely the students from ISD who come and show us their talents and all the amazing signs they can perform on stage. So it's really cool for the Butler community to see and get a little taste of what the deaf community is like.
The program ended with the Butler Club signing a crowd favorite, Don't Stop Believin'. From the Butler Beat, I'm Hannah Somerville.
A positive sign that warmer weather is finally here is the Butler baseball team hosting games. Sophie McEnone reports.
The Butler baseball team is preparing for their away games this weekend after a loss against Western Michigan last Saturday. After winning the first game of the doubleheader, the team loosened up to get ready for Game 2. Freshman pitcher Danny Poporico started the game off with a strikeout. However, Western Michigan managed to score their first runs in the fourth inning. Senior shortstop Marco Capone says the team has some work to do.
We haven't necessarily been the best defensive team so far, and we're going to really need to clean that up, so we're going to work on that moving forward.
Butler's players continue to pump each other up by rooting for the players up to bat. After the Broncos added 2 more runs in the top of the 5th, the Bulldogs responded with a 3-run home run by junior first baseman Michael Freeze. Unfortunately, those were the only runs the Bulldogs could score. Sophomore second baseman Chris Moranto is already thinking about the upcoming games.
We had a tough loss today. The team played hard, but just couldn't get the win. Things didn't fall our way. Hit the ball hard. We got a bunch more games this week that's going to help our team get back together. Traveling to Western next weekend, so we're hoping everything's going to fall in place.
The final result was 9-3.
The Bulldogs go on to play Rockhurst this Tuesday at 3:30 here at Bulldog Park. For the Butler Beat, I'm Sophie McEnone.
The Center for Faith and Vocation has over 10 different religious groups for students. All of these groups come together at the end of the year to do something special for graduation in May.
Students are graduating. They're part of a multi-faith worship service that happens the night before graduation, and they all participate, and it's a way of really honoring students and their families right at the turning point of commencement. So those are probably the biggest ways that the different groups work together.
Sabula says around 200 students are involved with religious groups at Butler. If students cannot find a religious group that suits them, they can start their own at the CFV. That's it for this week's Butler Beat. I'm Millie Sauber.
And I'm Jeff Stonick. Have a great week, Bulldogs.